What's up, guys? I finally have some SPL 8 content for you. This is a Sun and Moon OU game between ABR from the Ruiners, I think, and Leftiez or Choco Bonita from the Falcons. So I think the Falcons are like 7th or 6th, like some way down the rankings, but not in an awful position. And the Ruiners are like in a 3-way tie for 2nd to 4th. So, yeah, these guys are both sort of leading the way in Sun and Moon team building. They made one of the first Sun and Moon teams together, which was, yeah, cool to see them, like, taking the new mons and putting them to use immediately. I've stayed up to record this game, and typically what happens is I get too tired and deliver a garbage narration, but not this time. I'm too motivated. So maybe I should actually talk about the teams. ABR has a kind of passive-looking team. No, not necessarily passive, but Leftiez gets a fantastic lead matchup. This could be Zed Belly Drum, but he has Kartana, which is often a Zed move Pokemon. He has Zygarde 10%, which I've been meaning to use, but everyone tells me it's just worse than regular Zygarde with a choice band. But I think Zygarde 10% is really cool. I just love the idea of it. I don't really have a way to validate that. But ABR is not weak to that in the slightest because he has Mega Sizz, Lando T, and Tangrowth, so that's not going to be doing much unless Leftiez can clear like all of the bulky Pokemon first. So ABR goes to Zygarde there, and that just dies. So yeah, Banded Waterfall. I don't really... Maybe he thought it was useless, but like, he was obviously fearing the belly drum there or something. Zed Hyper Beam Keldeo has been picking up a bit of traction lately, so yeah, great start for Leftiez. I guess ABR really didn't think the Azumarill would be the lead, because Leftiez is quite... it's not like overly weak to Gengar. I guess it would be Banded Azumarill. Like, I don't know whether Azumarill, as strong as it is, will be able to KO a max HP Zygarde, because Zygarde's bulk is obscene. So Zygarde's like I went through this. Zygarde is kind of useless. That's probably Scarf. I don't think you would need to be Specs to do that much damage because this thing's defenses are like 55. So it's probably Scarf. In which case ABR can just stay in. So Lefty's going to pivot to Metagross, knowing that the Gengar will only stay in if it is Scarf, because otherwise Zygarde is faster. And this Metagross double was aiming to catch Tang or Landorus, I guess, so it's probably Ice Punch, but I guess that's not what Lefty's wanted, so ABR goes for Leaf Storm, which is quite bold there, but also just, like, sensible. Although Metagross doesn't necessarily fear Tangrowth all that much, so Leftiez is going to get up his rocks, and this doesn't need to be defensive Lando, really, when he has Tangrowth. I think Leaf Storm's more common on Assault Vest than Rocky Helmet, so maybe ABR does feel like he needs another good physical wall, because Tang is like his thing for Tapu Koko and kind of Greninja, depending on what the Keldeo is, because I know ABR has used Scarf Keldeo a lot in Oras, but of course this is not Oras. So, well, this is ABR's only rocker, so we can say something based on that. But it can still be Swords Dance, Stealth Rock, or yeah. So this is looking quite a lot like it has Ice Punch. ABR does have the one counter in the game being Sizz. I don't think... Oh, well, yeah, he had Tangrowth in against the Metagross last time, so there wasn't that much of a reason to switch it in. So Leftiez is going to pull a double into Lando. Did this... Yeah, this is probably... Actually, no, this probably... I wouldn't think this would be... It is a Z move mon, but it took nothing from that... took nothing from Tangrowth's Leaf Storms. That's really weird. I thought that would do, like, 65 even to defensive, and they're both actually Z move. Like, that's not a weird thing, really, on, even defensive Lando. Like, without Sky... Like, with the current set is usually Stealth Rock, U-Turn, HP Ice, and Earthquake. Not sure what that stumbling over my words was, but hope you didn't hate it. So yeah, you're left vulnerable to grass types and Charizards and stuff if you don't have Sky Strike or a Rock move. But I guess Zygy is going to do something. Maybe like ABR could just go to Tangrowth, so it's not really a huge threat because yeah, that's a Zygarde. So I don't know. Maybe Zygarde wasn't the best play there. I guess Leftiez had some because like he's so weak to Tangrowth too. Like, now that Sky Strike is gone, Tangrowth walls basically every... I mean, the Azumarill could be banded, and, like, Gungshot Gren, Specs Ashgren can do, like, kind of a lot. So he's got double grass, which is weird. I would never find room on a Tangrowth to run 2 grass moves. So ABR looks to be in control. Yeah, Leftiez doesn't even have particularly good things to double into on Sizz. Kartana should be able to get a kill. Leftiez doesn't double there, he goes for Mash, just trying to put some pressure on with attack boosts, which he does not get, so ABR needs to roost here, so that's good, and he can sack his Lando here to not let stuff take damage, but he might want to go to... Well, he'll find out whether it's Protean even if the move doesn't hit a target, I think. But Leftiez might spike, because Gross with spikes, yeah, Gross and Zygarde are both very appreciative of spikes, so nice read going to Keldeo there, realizing that this is not the biggest. Yeah, I think he probably wants to save Lando to sack to the Azumarill. So Leftiez just goes hard into it, and he is running Scarf Surf, I guess, unless that's Assault Vest. Like, it might even be Scarf on Assault Vest Azumarill. So yeah, Tangrowth's going to get sacked, or maybe he knows it's AV now, but yeah, that looks more like banded damage on that AV growth. Sacking Tangrowth was a really questionable play when... I guess he was fairly sure a Waterfall was coming, but like, that was such a risk when you have a Lando that dies to rocks. Like, I guess he, because with the spikes, he's not going to be able to regen much. I guess this could be Defog Sizz. But I know ABR... Well, no, I don't know that he prefers SD, but I've always found Defog Sizz really lackluster. So HP Fire and that probable Scarf Keld comes in, and this Keld is a huge thorn in Lefty's side. Like, Secret Sword is so free here. He had to Surf before, just in case the Gren stayed in, because it was a ground type, and Sacred Sword doesn't kill from... No, it is Secret Sword, doesn't kill from full, I imagine. But now something's dying to Sword. What's it gonna be? Watch, actually, Zygarde is getting ready to go ham. Actually, I guess Sizz is pretty close to winning too, although Zed moved Cart, which is looking impossible actually, because the Lando was Zed moved. So that could be the fantastic Adrenaline Orb set. It could be like Scarf. Lefty's team doesn't have anything fast enough to, you know, justify his team not having a Scarfer. So yeah, Scarf Cart, I guess, could be a nice anti-offense measure, because the rest of his team is more like... I guess Zygarde is kind of anti-offense. So he's going to sack the Azumarill. Maybe it takes 2? Yeah, it does. Okay. So... Azumarill's back in, and this thing has been putting in a lot of work. Maybe ABR's saving the Lando sack so he doesn't give Kartana a beast boost. But this Azumarill is just like killing stuff left and right. So yeah, I don't like ABR is obsessed with... He's paranoid about Sizz, and yeah, I don't like sacking Tangrowth here because it walls everything. Like when that was healthy, it walled... He mustn't have had HP Fire, but it walled so many things. I guess there could be a... Did we just... the Keldeo looks Scarf, so maybe that Gengar isn't Scarf after all. It could be... No, they both used their Zed Landos. So yeah, if you guys want to run calcs while I'm narrating, you should obviously feel free, but I think it's kind of distracting for me to potentially miss parts of the battle while I'm calcing, so I'm not going to do it. And these are the few videos I don't have to edit heavily, so I'm not going to edit in calcs. The chat seems to think Lefties is ahead here, but I think ABR is gonna come through with Scarf Keldeo, and like if it's Scarf Gengar too, which I... Okay. This is debatable, because I doubt... Actually, yeah, Shadow Ball would easily kill, so something is dying here. Gren can't take two. Actually, this is Bandit. What am I thinking? It's just taking nothing from Keldeo, so we know the Keldeo is Scarf. We don't really know what this is. Like, double Scarf is not out of the question. I just thought he would stay in on the Zygarde if he was Scarf, but maybe he just didn't want to, like, let Kartana in or something. I don't know, he kind of dealt with both of the steals well enough. So, finally, the Azumarill is slain. This gives Greninja an entrance, at which point ABR will finally sack his Landorus to bring in Keldeo, which kills something. Maybe Zygarde. Then, like, how does Lefties even check Keldeo? Is Metagross healthy enough to do that? Yeah, that's healthy enough, so... Metagross comes in, ABR has the Sizz, so then maybe Lefties doubles to Greninja. If they're both Scarf, I don't really see Lefties winning, because Shadow Ball is going to kill everything, like, very, very soon. So I don't really understand this play, because the Gengar, it looks Scarfed to me, but, like, the Keldeo is almost definitely Scarfed. So, I don't know, maybe if Lefties is Scarf Zydog, which he actually could be, because that 1,000 arrows did 16% to Tangrowth. Like, it's a Tangrowth, but it's Assault Vest, so come on. So yeah, ABR might know it's Scarf, I don't know. In which case, like, Sizz can switch in. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Obviously, if you've done the calc and he's actually specs to do 54 to this with Sludge Wave, then disregard all of this, but I'm fairly sure, like, Shadow Ball would be close to an Oko with even Scarf damage. Alright, so the Lando gets sacked. Which is kind of weird. I guess I'm gonna just calc. Oh, it is Specs Gengar. Okay, so that changes everything. I don't really know. I guess he kind of needs that for Scarf Cut. No, I don't really get that. So yeah, the Keldeo is Scarf. I was thinking that was Scarf damage on Zygarde. I guess it's fatter than I gave it credit for. Okay, so yes, Keldeo's in. Secret Sword is going to end something's... Like, I doubt Metagross takes 2 from 71%. I'm surprised that... whatever. Maybe I'll let Lando and Tangrowth get... Like, I don't know why he let Tangrowth get weak, because versus Metagross, Kartana, Greninja, Azumarill, and Zygarde, you'd have to think Tangrowth was a pretty good team member to keep alive, and he, like, used it to switch into Azumarill, which was never going to work. And less Lefties went for the Waterfall, which is a pretty bold thing to just decide he's doing. But I guess at the same time, if you can, like, never switch Tangrowth in, it's gonna be a bit less useful than I'm making it out to be. But, like, if you just bring it in safely and then never switch, that might be good. Alright, so let's try to theory through this game now that I know what the sets are. Why is he keeping Zygarde? I don't know, like... I guess he'll sack Gren or this, because he seems to really want to keep the Zygarde, which is just weird. And he can't sack Gren, actually, because then he loses to Sizz, but I don't know why he's holding onto this so tightly, because, like... Metagross... Yeah, I guess he's trying super hard to not let the Sizz set up, but, like, 1,000 Arrows isn't going to 2-hit KO it anyway. I guess if it's SD U-turn, it can screw itself by not being able to beat Kartana. But I think it's probably Scarf Kartana for aforementioned reasons. The fastest one otherwise is just like a Greninja, which is Protean, so that's 377 speed, which is not enough. So yep, Scarf Kartana is going to be walled by Sizz. Metagross is walled by Sizz unless it gets lots of attack boosts and has... Or Home Claw's Dynamic Punch. I imagine Banded Zygarde is walled by it. He actually surfs there. maybe that was required to 2-hit KO Metagross or something, but yeah, Kartana's in now. And it needs to be Scarf, but if it's just not, if it's SD, Timid, it should struggle to break through Sizz anyway, and Lefty's timer is getting a little bit low. Just a little bit. But yeah, ABR can, like, wear down the Greninja with rocks. Although Lefties has, like, way more hazards up, and they all hit much harder than just the rocks do to Lefty's team. Does Lefties know he's got, like, 10 seconds left? Oh no. Okay, he makes a move. So yep, Sizz comes in on the Smart Strike. Nice 10, yeah. Well, 11. Is ABR human? Switching in your counter to a Pokemon. I'm super impressed. So yeah, this like has to be Scarf in my eyes. You can't run like you can't run a team this slow. But yeah, this should be able to win. I don't even know whether he'd Roost here. Like Sacred Sword is going to do 20, so... Oh, yeah, he just doesn't have any speed control. So he can win because of that Roost. I think Roost may have been a misplay there. This Kartana, I think, wins. Maybe, because I don't know. I guess if it's yeah, this wins. Actually, no, Keldeo's still faster at this point, and it's going to be at... Is this the last switch in? 42, so it can switch in 2 more times, which is probably going to be enough times for ABR to clutch this. Or he could go to Gengar and go for Shadow Ball, which, yeah, maybe like, he's thinking about whether he needs those Keldeo switch-ins later. So he goes to Gengar, so something like Gren probably dies to Specs Shadow Ball. This forces Gren in, and it would need to be like life. Why is this team so slow? I guess it has lots of priority users, but that's such a slow team. Can this work? Okay, so he sacks Cart, and now he could risk the speed tie, or he could go to Greninja. And he'd have to be careful about what he locks himself into to like perpetuate this game, so he goes to Grosso. Sizz can't switch in, so ABR will try to win the tie. Lefties should BP if he has that, because like the Gengar staying in is the best play by far. This is the only situation in which Gengar would be useful, so there's like absolutely no reason to not Shadow Ball, but ABR is thinking for some reason like he's saving this Specs Gengar to die to Greninja or to be in against Metagross locked into Shadow Ball. Then you go into Sizz, and this is still kind of tough. So he actually does switch into Sizz, which is going to get 2-hit KO'd, so I don't exactly understand that. Lefty does go for the Bullet Punch. So like he saves the Gengar because there's going to be a 50-50 coming up, and Bullet Punch is the only reason you would go into Metagross there, I think. Unless Gren auto loses to Keldeo, which is like a firm possibility. I think that, yeah, Gren probably just auto loses to Keldeo, so you had to go to Metagross. ABR's thought process was that if Sizz got 2-hit KO'd, he still gets to risk the speed tie, because if it got 2-hit KO'd, Lefties didn't have Bullet Punch. So then he gets to risk the speed tie, and then if he loses the speed tie... Hello? Oh yeah, sorry, that's totally right. So yeah, now ABR, where no, Lefties doubles to Metagross here. No, that's it. I don't think ABR can lose this anymore. But yeah, if ABR sacks Gengar to the Metagross, Sizz comes in, and Sizz has to roost to deal with the Metagross, and it also has to U-turn to hit the Gren. How healthy was the Sizz like a few turns ago? This game's over. I don't think there's any way for ABR to lose. So he's at 40, and then he takes the hit. So he's like, well, it would be at 40, so he has to roost to deal with Metagross. So yeah, then he has just his Sizz, which is forced to roost. So yeah, that happens. He sacks Gengar here, and Leftiez, yeah, does make the Metagross double, as immaculately predicted by your narrator. So like Sizz can just come back in here. I guess Pursuit could be very, very hot, but he doesn't go for it. So he goes for the mash, because like an attack boost could just kind of win. Just gonna go for another one. Nope. See how stupid Metagross is? ABR has the switch in, and like there's still so much. I guess it's because he's running the stupid U-turn set, which isn't exactly stupid, but there are so many cases when you wish you just didn't. Like, he doesn't have hazard control, and so he can't even like damage the thing, like the main thing that Sizz counters, that makes Sizz so. Well, Sizz counters everything, but Metagross is a big one that it counters, and he can't even really deal. Like, can't you just U-turn here? Oh, beep. Don't really agree with BP. I'm just wondering when. Oh, there's the attack boot. I'm just wondering when U-turn plus Keldeo wins. I guess. Oh, it has Bullet Punch, so Keld probably dies. And there's another attack boost, I'm guessing, because of the LOL. So you U-turn here. Nope, roosting. Okay, so Gengar is useless in this game. Yeah, he's playing it right, actually, because he has to have Keld above... How much does Keld take from Bullet Punch? I really wish the percentages would show up. Come on. Okay, so yeah, roost. Oh, he is defog. Oh yeah, that's kind of smart. I really wish the Keldeo percentage would come up. So yeah, now he BPs to put this in range of Keldeo. Yeah, if he gets another attack boost, like I'm sorry, my maybe I'll close the chat. Maybe it's because they're like moving all the time. Okay, so it's at 42%. So I don't know how much Bullet Punch does from Metagross. So yeah, Bullet Punch for a little bit of chip. And then in comes Keldeo to go for... Maybe it has to Surf, because Metagross has higher physical defense. Well, yeah, Surf wins anyway, because Greninja can't, like... Oh god, that did a lot. Plop! And he does... I guess that does kill. So yeah, ABR played that well by not U-turning. I made a mistake, I guess. And yeah, he should just kill the Gren here, and it would have to be Life Orb Shuriken with spikes, as he's saying. Just hoping ABR might DC. Okay, there we go. So yeah, ABR, that was a really interesting game. I'm pleased that I was able to bring that one to you, so hope you enjoyed, guys. I should be able to record some SPL this week. I'm working at home this week, so I can just do whatever I want. Yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Nice win, ABR, well played, and yeah, this was really interesting. Like, no games are good like this in SPL, where it's just hanging in the balance the whole time. I mean, granted, Leftiez had to get like all those attack boosts, but Metagross is broken, so if a Sizz can't wall it, maybe we need to do something about that Pokemon. But for the third time, thank you for watching, and goodbye.